What's up, guys? Graffiti here, and today I want to talk to you guys about Thor: Love and Thunder. It's a new Marvel movie that's just recently come out, and I thought it was pretty good. Now, is it a top 10 Marvel movie? No, but it's not as bad as everybody on the internet is trying to make it out to be. If you enjoyed Thor Ragnarok, I really think you're going to enjoy this movie as well. It's basically the same as Thor Ragnarok as far as the tone, only this one's a bit more silly. I think the first Thor movie, it was good for what they were trying to do. I mean, they did their best putting them to the big screen. It was a fine movie, pretty just whatever. Thor 2 was pretty trash. I think Thor Ragnarok was great. One of my favorite MCU films. It's rewatchable. I think Thor Ragnarok did for Thor what Captain America and the Winter Soldier did for Captain America. It took a character who was pretty stale, and they made him cool again. And they made him cool and work. And now here we are with Thor: Love and Thunder, the fourth Thor movie, the first time any character in the MCU has gotten a fourth movie. And I think it worked pretty well. It's pretty badass seeing Jane Foster come back and becoming Thor, although I do think it's kind of sloppy. There's a lot of things in the movie that's pretty sloppy. The movie definitely could have benefited from an extra maybe 10 to 20 minutes of runtime, because there's a lot of things that aren't explained. Like, for example, while they're in the battle, Thor asks, who's the new guy, when he sees Mjolnir going around, and then Valkyrie says, oh, you're gonna love this new guy. And I'm like, wait a minute. When the fuck did Valkyrie and Jane Foster meet? Did I miss a scene or something? So I don't know, I just feel like that didn't make a lot of sense. There's a lot of things like that don't make any sense. As far as the villain of the movie, played by Christian Bale, I thought he was fine. He's a little bit above your average Marvel movie villain. He is pretty creepy and intimidating, but I mean, I'm not really going to remember this guy next week, so they should have given him more screen time. I didn't really have enough of him to really get behind him. I didn't really know what he wanted exactly. His motivation was a little questionable for me. Christian Bale gives a great performance, and Natalie Portman returns as Jane Foster. I thought she was pretty good in the movie. I mean, they're dealing with a serious storyline for Jane in this movie. She finds out she has cancer, and then she gets Thor's hammer, Mjolnir, and then she becomes Thor. And she's pretty calm about the whole thing. I mean, I think we could have gotten more scenes of her, reaction to being Thor, because she's gone from just a scientist human being to now she's a fucking god. And she just kind of chill about it, like, oh yeah, no big deal, I have superpowers now. I can fly, I have this magical hammer, I'm basically a whole god now. I'm basically invisible now. It would have been nice to see that kind of reaction from her, instead of just, oh yeah, she's Thor now, let's move on. Like, the whole movie just feels kind of rushed. Especially in the beginning, it just feels like, okay, we gotta do this and move along. As far as Gorr goes, it feels very rushed. They just had to, okay, his daughter's dead, let's move on with this guy. And as far as Jane, oh, she has cancer, that's why she wants to be Thor now. Like, a lot of it is just very kind of sloppy, the way they go about it. That's why I'm saying they could have benefited from a longer runtime. I don't know why these recent Marvel movies have tried to be a lot shorter. Like, I know Doctor Strange got cut quite a bit. That movie could have probably benefited from being longer as well, so they could have explored more of the multiverse. And this movie could have definitely benefited from that, because they're now trying to bring back Jane Foster and explain, oh, why wasn't she in Thor 3? Why hasn't she been in the MCU at all since, like, Thor the Dark World? And then they explain Gorr the God Butcher. So there's a lot of stuff they're trying to do with a 2-hour runtime. Not to mention they have to bring in the Guardians of the Galaxy, which I think they're pretty good in the movie as well. It's always entertaining seeing the Guardians of the Galaxy. They're not in it very long. They're in it for maybe like 5 to 10 minutes. They're in it pretty brief. And this has been my most anticipated comic book movie of the year because, Taika Waititi did Ragnarok, which I really enjoyed. I feel like Thor: Love and Thunder definitely could have been better though. I don't think it was as good as Ragnarok, but I had to give it some time to kind of sit and marinate and see how I feel about it a couple months from now, because right now I'm watching it with all the hype and stuff, so I had to give it some time to see if I really think it's better than Ragnarok, because there are some things that's pretty cool about it. Like, I like seeing Natalie Portman back in the role, kind of the relationship Thor has with her. I mean, say what you will about the Thor movies, but at least they already have established Jane and Thor's relationship in this franchise. I think the humor, it got a little excessive. The movie wasn't funny at all. I didn't laugh at a single joke in the entire film, but then again, I don't laugh at anything really. I don't know, I didn't find the movie very funny. They have these random screaming goats that I guess are just in there because, oh, well, we don't know how to tell any clever jokes, so we're going to have these random goats in the movie who are just going to scream, trying to make the audience laugh. It just felt kind of lazy. Valkyrie doesn't really do much in the entire movie. She's kind of there. She has like no character arc or anything. She's just Thor's pal. Same thing with Korg. They're just there. I thought the action scenes were pretty cool in the movie though, seeing Jane Foster being able to kick ass with Mjolnir in a different way than what we've seen before, because it would have been boring if she came up to the scene and shows us fighting exactly like Thor did with Mjolnir, but in here she's able to kind of break the hammer into pieces which I think is pretty cool. Something different we haven't seen before. Some of the green screen in here was a little, like there's a lot of lighting issues. Like there's one image that's been going around Twitter of Natalie Portman, and the lighting is completely off. Because the scene in the movie, it's dark, and then Natalie Portman's face is like really differently lit from everybody else, and it just really throws it off. And then there's also this weird scene where apparently Heimdall has a child now. When the fuck did Heimdall have a child? That was never in any of the previous movies, but okay, sure, we'll go with it, I guess. And he randomly shows up and his head is just floating and it looks fucking laughable. It really took me out of the movie. The fact that people looked at that and didn't laugh their ass off at it, they're not laughing with the movie, they're laughing at the movie. The fact that didn't happen and somebody said, hey, maybe we should do something different with this because it looks fucking stupid, is a little alarming. I feel like as far as the tone with the movie though, I think they were able to play off the serious moments serious enough. They weren't, looking at Gorr's backstory and saying, you have a dead daughter, that's so funny, part joke, or anything. And then with Jane's cancer, they weren't making a bunch of jokes about, oh, G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it, right Jane? There wasn't any jokes about that kind of stuff. When it came to those kind of scenes, they took it more seriously. Like, for example, Jane's death scene, they took that pretty serious, and it felt pretty emotional. But it is kind of weird at the ending how Gorr the God Butcher, he dies, and then he's just like, hey Thor, can you watch my child? And I'm just like, what? Why the hell would you trust Thor to watch your daughter, to raise her? You don't even know him. He doesn't even know you. You guys have barely even interacted the entire movie. And when you have interacted, you guys are trying to kill each other. So, I don't know, I thought that part was kind of weird. The ending of the film. Like, that was your big plan, to bring back your daughter, and then you're just like, hey Thor, can you watch it for me? So now I guess Thor's supposed to be a father figure to her. Okay, let's see how that goes in the MCU. We probably won't see Thor again for a couple of years, so who the fuck knows? Because Marvel's busy pumping out all these other fucking characters. But yeah, overall I really enjoyed the movie. I think it's a fun, action-packed film. Pacing goes along. It's a little too rushed, a little sloppy with a lot of things that happens. Green screen and effects, all that could have used a lot more work. I didn't think the comedy was very funny at all. But besides that, I enjoyed the film. It was entertaining. Like I said, not a top 10 MCU films. If you know what you're getting into, you'll have a fun ride. If you didn't like Thor Ragnarok, you probably won't like this one either, so that's how I feel about Thor Love and Thunder. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. And did you guys like Russell Crowe as Zeus in the movie? I thought he was pretty funny. It was pretty crazy when Thor killed him. I didn't expect that. Well, he was supposed to kill him, but then he's alive in the end credit scenes. So, yeah, we'll see where that goes. Guess it's gonna be a Thor 5 now. Hopefully they pull back on the humor just a little bit for Thor 5. Don't make it just so silly. Like, keep a consistent tone of Ragnarok in this movie, but just don't make it so damn goofy. Keep it a little more serious. Just a little bit. I don't need it to be Thor 1 and 2. But yeah, we'll see where that goes.